There was once a television show where celebrities would answer questions from the audience regarding marriage. One time, the celebrity was the Hungarian-American actress Zsa Gabor. A young woman in the audience asked, "I have a problem. I have just broken off my engagement to a very wealthy man, but he has already given me a sable coat, diamonds, a stove, and a Rolls Royce. What should I do?" Jaja replied, "Give back the stove." Gifts mean a lot to us. Particularly special are farewell gifts. Sometimes when we move away, someone might give us a parting gift to remember them by. At the final moment of parting, too, when someone is about to die, they give us a gift to remember them by. Those gifts are real treasures indeed. Many years ago, when I was taking care of so many dying AIDS patients, there was one man I visited often at his sickbed. In those days, that disease meant certain death. One day he said to me, "Father, you have brought me so much consolation, and you have brought me so much closer to God. I would like to give you something to remember me by." With that, he took a beautiful jade ring from his finger and gave it to me. "This ring," he said, "used to belong to the great pianist Liberace. I have worn it since I was a little child, but now I want you to have it." Now, I'm not much for jewelry. I usually don't even wear a watch anymore, but that simple, beautiful jade ring became very precious to me, not because it had once belonged to Liberace, but because it came from my dying friend. Neither of us knew that that would be the last time we would see each other. He died later that day. Parting gifts are treasures that remind us of the giver. But the poet Khalil Gibran reminds us, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give." We all have the capability of doing that. Parents give of themselves every day. Teachers do the same. Some of the greatest parting gifts have been gifts of self. I have assisted at many deathbeds, and some of the best gifts I have received there were not possessions, not material things at all, but rather wise last words from the person who was about to die. Perhaps a family history or a family secret that only they knew and that they were now entrusting to me. They gave of themselves. Not long ago, I buried a stillborn child. That's always such a source of pain and grief to the parents. The father told me what a great gift that baby remains to them. The parents were never able to touch that child, never able to hear his voice, never able to give that child anything but their love. Even so, the child gave of himself. For as the Father told me, our Son has shown us how we can be, has given us an example of the perfect human being. Didn't Jesus tell us that those who are worthy of God's kingdom are those who can become like little children? That is our Son's continuing gift to us. Today we celebrate the greatest parting gift ever given. We remember that evening when Jesus had the last meal with his friends and gave them the most precious parting gift of all. He gave not of himself, he gave himself in the Eucharist, and his abiding presence remains with us to this day. As his parting gift, he gave us himself for all time. We celebrate this presence in a particular way on this day, but that same presence is celebrated every single day at every single Mass we offer. That presence remains as the body of Christ, the living, breathing, loving people of God. As members of that body, each of us is called upon not only to give of ourselves, but to give ourselves in true and total love, not merely to celebrate, but to be Christ's parting gift to the world.